What's up, everybody? We are back in the Edge Finder, continuing on with our series of Edge Finder how-tos and Edge Finder basic videos. So today we're taking a look at another area of the Edge Finder that we don't talk about too often, and that is going to be our interest rate section. So here on the left side under fundamental analysis, we have all these different areas right here, and you can see that we have interest rates. So if we click on that, we get taken to the interest rate page. And here we can see a couple things. One, the first thing that we see here is the interest rate for the previous year. So we have all of our countries listed right here: United States, United Kingdom, Switzerland, New Zealand, Japan, the Euro area, Canada, and Australia.
If you're an aspiring technical analysis trader, we have a special gift for you. Right now, we're handing out copies of our technical analysis course 100% free. In the comment section below, you'll see a link to one of our team's Telegram chats. If you send us the message Technical Analysis Course, we'll send you a copy totally free. This is a special thanks for supporting our content. Now back to the video.
And so all of these are color coordinated, which you can see right here. And this is the yearly, where their yearly interest rate finished. So we have 2019, 2020, and 2021 listed. So you can kind of get an idea of how their interest rate has moved over the past couple of years. So you can see, if you hover over this, you can see all of their numbers there, as well as the last 12 months here. So it is August 21st to July 2022. The previous month of August is about to get updated and put into here so that we have the most accurate and up-to-date information. But you can see again that hovering over this gives you the interest rate numbers for that month for all of these different countries, right? And what we're looking at here, so we can see, let's say, for example, in March of 2022, what we're looking at right up top, United States, 2.13. What that means is that the United States interest rate for that month was 2.13%. Similar with United Kingdom, we can see right there, 1.55. That means 1.55%. We also have this box right here that just gives you all of the countries' current interest rates and their previous interest rates right next to it. So here in the United States, the interest rate currently sits at 2.5%, while previously it was 1.75%, and we can also see the month and year reference. So some of them have already been updated for August because we have that information, but some of them have not been updated yet, but that will be coming very, very shortly. So this is the interest rate page if you're just curious on looking at interest rates for one or all of these countries. We can also too, if we wanted to, click only here and just have the interest rate that you selected. So if I really wanted to know what Switzerland's interest rate was, we click only, and there we go, everything shifts and we can see just Switzerland's interest rate. Here we also have this chart here with the red line is the moving average, while the blue line is the actual interest rate. So moving average, red line, blue line is actual interest rate, and you can change that for any of these countries listed here. But this, of course, is not the only place that we can get this information. And if you click that little box right there, it'll bring everything back in. But this, of course, is not the only place that we get that information. We can get it in the actual currency pair breakdowns. So if I take a random currency pair, let's say USD CAD, we see that interest rates gets a score. This may have not been a great one to pick because our interest rate score here is 0. So why don't we pick another one just because it's 0? Well, I'll go ahead and show you this one and another one as well. Just because this one is 0. So interest rate score is 0, and that is because, if we look at it, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar actually have the same interest rate. They're both 2.5%. So this was a bad example to pick. but also an interesting one just so you're not confused in case you ever come across this. So there's no bias towards anything. It says 0 bias towards US dollar, but it's a 0% bias. There's no bias towards the US dollar because the interest rates are the same. They're both at 2.5%, and this is where we get that information right here if you're looking for that in the currency pair breakdown. So if I click on like Euro USD, let's say, there we go. We have a score of -1. And we can see here that we have a 2% bias towards US dollar because the Euro's interest rate is 0.5% and the US dollar's interest rate is 2.5%. So if it's negative, that's because the pair that it's going against, so this is the euro against the dollar has the higher interest rate in this scenario, so it gets a score of -1. If the euro, on the other hand, had the higher interest rate, this would be a score of +1. Okay, but we can see that we have a 2% bias towards the US dollar because, again, we have 0.5 and 2.5 interest rate, and the difference between those two is +2. I'm going to see if we can find an example of a +1 interest rate. So if we go through here and select another currency pair at random, look at that. There we go, a +1 interest rate. So GBP JPY is a +1 interest rate because, like I just mentioned, this is the pound against the yen, and if the first currency's interest rate is higher than the second, that is a plus. If the second currency's interest rate is higher than the first, it is a negative. So we can see here, pound against the yen, the pound has a 1.75% interest rate, while the yen has a negative 0.1% interest rate, or negative 10% interest rate. Not negative 10%, negative 0.10%, excuse me. So interest rate divergence, United Kingdom versus Japan, we have a plus 1.85% bias towards the pound because of the difference here. Right, so pound is higher, that's the first one, that's why it's a plus. But if we look at, what we're looking at, Euro USD, the dollar has the higher interest rate in this example, and so it is a negative score. So there we go. That's a look at interest rate inside of the Edge Finder, where to find it and what to do with that information. Again, this is our interest rate page with all of the different countries and their interest rates listed here. Hover over it to see their number, their yearly average here, along with the moving average red line and actual interest rate blue line, and this box showing the current interest rate month and year, along with the previous, what it changed from. So I hope this video was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.